for joining us as we blast out across the AM and FM dial, coast to coast, simulcasting worldwide on satellite, shortwave, and, of course, the internet at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a geologist, a scientist, a researcher joining us from Australia next hour to expose how the private corporate world government is using environmentalism as the new religion, a way to inculcate eugenics into a world religion. He will be joining us in the next hour, and we'll have open phones later in this hour and into the second hour of this Sunday abbreviated transmission we do every Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, abbreviated from the weekday 4-hour broadcast. Okay, let me give you a rundown of the headlines, and I'm going to get into them. First off, we're going to cover what's happening with the flu and how it's being used to federalize and expand federal control, not just in the United States, but worldwide. It's being used as a tool of the police state when the evidence is conclusive that it's a very weak, pathetic flu, no big deal. Why then are they preparing mass graves, FEMA camps, checkpoints, forced inoculation here inside the United States? Now, we first discovered this was going on in January of this year. We gave you exclusive interviews with emergency managers, secret documents from the state of New York. People wanted to laugh at us. Now it's all mainstream news, so I thought I'd go over that. National Guard takes over school and swine flu vaccine riot drill. That's out of TV in Maine. Governors opposed to Department of Defense emergency powers. The National Governors Association has sent a letter to the DOD and White House saying they're concerned about martial law in America under the pretext of the flu. See, that's not Alex saying that 8 months ago. It's not Alex Jones or saying it 3 months ago. It's now the Governors Association. The Governors Association letterhead, the official governors of the country saying that. There's no more time to live in la-la land. Here's another one. Congressman, Obama could use pandemic to declare martial law. Louisville Journal, Louisville, Kentucky. We'll go over that. Here's another one. Pentagon wants authority to post 400,000 Army and Marine Corps regular troops on the streets of America. This out of the Progressive, directly from the Pentagon's own website announcement and Congress. It's really happening. So that's some of what we'll be going over today. Now, that's just politically what they're using the flu fear for. Here is what, and I'm going to go, again, more over this later. I just want to first give you the total picture that we're looking at here so you can make your decision here. I'm not telling you what to believe about all this. I'm telling you they're getting mass graves and martial law ready. You make your own decision about why all this is happening. Okay? Now, look at this Reuters headline. You know they're preparing as if the flu is the end of the world. And they've been setting up for decades the Homeland Security, Northcom takeover you're now seeing. So right as the architecture is complete and this system is built, magically the flu appears and they're going to use it for that. And they're federalizing every city with the federalization, threat integration, fusion centers. I'm going to get into that later. Totally illegal, totally criminal, violation of 9th and 10th Amendment. It's all happening. All these decades of just huge Death Star level construction project. Trillions and trillions. Just massive technological terror of control and totally unconstitutional. A worldwide control grid built by MIT and the Pentagon. They all brag. Face scanning, tracking everywhere you go, license plate reading systems, federalizing everything. And now, right as they finish construction of it in the last 3 months, oh, the flu is here. We must have martial law to keep you safe. So that's another piece of the panoramic shot. Here's the rest of it. Reuters, is it safe? U.S. vaccine experts want to build trust. And then the article is how wonderful it is, how safe it is, how great it is, how good it is, how wonderful it is. Just take your shots. Vaccines are perfect. There's never any problems. And you hear the radio talk show hosts that are doctors and people up saying, vaccines never hurt anybody. It's only good for you. Everything's fine. Don't listen to people that tell you shouldn't take shots. It's the law. You've got to take hundreds of vaccines when there is no law. So even if you agree with vaccines, you shouldn't agree with lying about it and saying it's the law. Now, let's go over news in the last 3 days. Now, I'm not even searching for this. This is stuff that's appeared on Drudge, pretty mainline. In the last 3 days, these headlines have come up without me even looking for it to discredit the flu vaccine. The current flu vaccine that the U.S. government's bought 195 million dosages of, and now they want to buy another couple hundred million so every American can have at least 2 shots. 300 million Americans. So they're talking about enough to give 300 million Americans 3 shots. So I guess that's 900 million injections, but they've so far taken delivery of 195 million 2 weeks ago. The next batch is ready in a few weeks. This is just from one company alone. Now, Reuters didn't feel like doing a Google search and telling you what we're about to tell you. Globe and Mail, swine flu jab linked to killer nerve disease. Leaked letter reveals concern over neurologist. Over 25 deaths in America. Now, you wonder why there's all these neurological degenerative diseases. People who are 25 getting Alzheimer's or getting all these other brain diseases. In the internal literature, they know it's the vaccines. The viruses in the vaccines, the cancer viruses, the chemicals, the RNA, the DNA from the dead fetuses and the dead monkeys and the dead dogs attacks the brain stem. In fact, I have the actual university and government reports. These are leaked. Just in trials in Texas, there's 25 dead. And that's with them covering it up. They whitewashed those numbers. Just like we knew Gardasil was killing massive amounts of people that took it in trials 3 years ago. And we would have the doctors and the families, the people who had their daughters die. You give your 9-year-old the shot, blood starts pouring out a day later of every orifice. I mean, they die of Ebola-like type disease. I mean, that's how it's described by the medical doctors we've had on. I mean, that's all we do here is go, oh, look, this is killing you. This is the Globe and Mail. Swine flu jab linked to killer nerve disease. Leaked letter reveals concern of neurologist over 25 deaths in America just in test of it. Okay, here's another one. This is without looking. This is build.de, the biggest paper in Germany. Biggest newspaper in Germany. Does virus vaccine increase the risk of cancer? The swine flu vaccine has been hit by a new cancer fears after a German health expert gave a shock warning about its safety. Lung specialist Wolfgang Woodrug, we're getting him on, has said that there are many risks associated with the vaccine for the H1N1 virus. He gave grave reservations about the firm Novartis, who are developing the vaccine and testing it in Germany. So that's Novartis, Novartis. That's the one they bought the 195 million shots from. The vaccination is injected with a very hot needle, the scientist said. The nutrient solution for the vaccine consists of cancerous cells from animals, and we do not know if there could be an allergic reaction. But more importantly, some people fear that the risk of cancer could be increased by injecting the cells. And then it goes on into all the major scientific institutes in Germany, the United States, and England that know this. Hundreds of millions of Americans, the federal government admits, got deadly cancers, mainly brain cancers, from the polio shot because it had live SV40. Don't believe me? Just search engine or Google or startpage.com is another good search engine. Just search engine the term polio vaccine SV40. You'll read U.S. government CDC from the 80s going, my God, we killed hundreds of millions of people from these cancers. We've got to keep this quiet. Same things in the news right here about how they've got to keep it quiet. So, by the way, none of this is by accident. This is eugenics. Here's another one. Polio surge in Nigeria after vaccine virus injections. That all over the world, third world people run from the UN. And they get caught putting HIV, putting polio, putting it in the shots because they're eugenicists. We have the White House science czar saying they're doing it.